against the rules. They're not supposed to be allowed to lock in and grab onto the kicks and kick the supporting leg. If they grab the leg and don't kick, they are subject to possibly a warning. If they grab the leg and deliver a kick or a punch afterwards, they could be penalized a point.
And certainly, of course, that is something that is illegal at any time in American fighting rules. So it will be something for Rufus to adjust to. And frankly, it'll be something for Kia송릿 to adjust to, because he's not allowed to do something that he does by reflex in the ring. It should be interesting. Rick Rufus, again, probably hits harder than anybody's Kia송릿, as we're just about ready. Now, these will be 3-minute rounds with a 1-minute break, Jeff.
That's my understanding, yes.
Round number 1. And Rufus goes right to the legs. Rick Rufus in the long pants, Kia송릿 in the short pants. Rufus with a big bang into the ribs there. Took one coming back from it, but he landed right in the left by Rufus. Rufus moving around very well. Spinning back kick into the belly. That hurt the tie. Kia송릿,
used by the style and footwork of Rick Rufus, and he has been stung a couple times. He's felt a lot of the power of Rick Rufus.
A little bit more aggressive. His name is
nice left hand.
He took a left hand there, and he's down. Rick Rufus landed a left on the jaw, and the Thai fighter, Kia송릿, just crumbled and is bleeding from the mouth, I believe, John. I can't see for sure, but that was a great shot by Rufus. And Kia송릿 is hurt. Rufus wants to get on, hits him again and knocks him down. Kia송릿 is down again, and you can see his eyes are a little glassy, John. We've got just about 30 seconds left in this first round. Kia송릿 has got to survive 30 seconds here and is trying to hold on to do it. Rufus does not want to let him have it. Rufus is getting inside of those kicks, and he is landing the big punches, and Kia송릿 has never come across this kind of power, I don't think.
Rufus doing a great job of keeping the pressure on, but Kia송릿 showing tremendous heart to stay in there. After being knocked down twice, he's fighting back on courage and on heart and on instinct.
He is one tough fella, there's no two ways about that, and he is still rubbery-legged. But we are up to the end of round number 1.
Lots of left-hand lunges. He's moving in, attacking the body and moving away. There's an attack to the knee.
And that, once again, Kia송릿 lands a good kick on the back of Rufus's knee. That is dangerous stuff. You can see the Thai folks all around the ring here exhorting their fighter, and Rick Rufus is willing to stand and trade as long as he can do it. Rufus hit there in the leg.
The Thai is doing a good job of keeping his hands up and taking away the target. Rick Rufus having to move away from those powerful kicks to the legs.
Now again, Rick Rufus tying up there as we're halfway through round number 2. And Rufus looks as if he has hurt his knee here just a little bit. He is holding his left knee.
He's slow getting up.
Lands a right, a round kick, and a right and a left from Rufus. Rufus needs to end this one fast. And he lands the left. And Rufus is throwing everything from Iowa. Rufus is throwing the big leather here, trying to... Kia송릿 has heart, no doubt about it. 1 minute left in this round.
You know how the judges are going to score this, because in a Thai fight, oh no, Rick Rufus was stomped when he was
30 seconds left here in round 2, John.
Rick Rufus trying to finish this thing with a knockout. He really doesn't like this. He doesn't like the idea of getting those legs kicked. He's trying to land again the left hand.
Good spinning back fist by Rufus that landed and shook Kia송릿 up. A high round kick to the jaw, but to do it, he had to take one to the back of the knee, and I'm thinking Rufus probably not used to these rules in the long red pants. Kia송릿 is not used to being hit. That's a legitimate stuff on his legs here, and you have to wonder if Rick Rufus isn't wondering why in the world he took this fight. Rufus needs to do very well. Shook Kia송릿 up badly. Honestly, it's not working.
Good left hand then by Rufus.
A left and a right.
He's catching the Kia송릿 go down at the very end of those punches. He's not really hitting in close enough and short enough to have a lot of steam on him.
And there is another potential problem. When Kia송rit comes in to kick, Rufus drops one hand down to block the kick, throws a punch with the other halfway through round 3. Kia송ritt lands as he is fighting from the right side. Comes up with a good uppercut into the rib. Very vocal in the background. John and I can hardly hear each other. There's 1 minute left in round number 3. That shot to the legs hurt Rufus.
Rufus again landing those punches, but they're too far extended to really have a lot of sting on him.
And he's also not able. Rufus with a good kick into the ribs. And again,
Rick Rufus just taking, his legs are just taking an absolute pounding.
And you wonder if Rufus isn't being just a little bit too brave here. He doesn't really have much to lose in this thing. He ought to just forget it right now if his legs... Listen, we're talking about a potential world champion here.
Incredibly painful.
Anybody who's ever played a minute of football can tell you how bad that hurts, let alone kickboxing. Rick Rufus. Rick Rufus now trying to keep away from the legs of Kia송릿, and probably his safest haven is as close to Kia송릿 as he can get. Rufus has the power, and Kia송릿 has never been hit the way Rufus can hit him. And Rufus is hurt now. He tried to spin fist there, and he got kicked, I think, and he is down and hurting. It is not that from a punch, his legs are killing him at the moment. Rick Rufus in the corner, can we hear this?
Well, he's saying in there, they ought to stop, his corner ought to stop this.
They really should. This is a case of Rick wanting to be too honorable here. This is an exhibition fight.
He was really taking a chance on suffering some permanent injury.
If he's going to stay, John, he just ought to get right up on the guy and let him have it. Otherwise, he's...
Kia송릿 looking very, very strong now, and just obviously extremely aggressively coming in with those leg kicks.
Well, he knows clearly, and the referee, Tom Schlesinger, has stopped this fight, and probably that's a very smart thing to do. Rufus really is not being hurt by punches. What he is being is hurt in the legs, and this is something that it's silly to take any more risk. Rufus, as you can see there by our camera, is in some considerable pain, and they seem to be, well, it's hard to tell where on his legs they're working. It looks like the left one at the moment, the right one at the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 1 minute, 23 seconds of the 5th round. The winner by TKO, John Rick Kia송릿.
Well, you can't take it away from Kia송릿. He did what his job was to do in that fight, and he won, and did very well doing it. Rick Rufus is still down, and Bill Wallace is still working on the knee, the right knee of Rick Rufus. What he's doing is feeling for... You know, the way this thing started out, John, too, this one really could have been over in the first round.
Well, Rick Rufus came out in the first round. He moved like we thought he would. He landed a good straight left hand there on Kia송릿. That was the second knockdown. And really at this point, I think to get inside, and his body was saying, oh, because look at this. Those are the kind of things that you can see the force of that kick is just twisting his upper body and causing him to lose balance, and it's just a tremendous...